I'm Heather from Here BookTubes, and today is my Love of the Night readathon wrap-up. I read every single book on my TBR. Every single one of them. I nailed it. I've never done this before in my life. I will probably not do it again anytime soon, like in the next 5 years. I am so happy with myself. You don't even know. You don't even know. Now, arguably, I actually only had like 4 books on my TBR. Only had 5 books on my TBR, but I don't care. I stuck to a TBR. I stuck to a TBR. I can't believe it. I'm honestly amazed with myself. So, if you did not know, the Love of the Night readathon was hosted by Shay, Izzy, Tamika, Laura, Crystal, and Steph. They honestly made this so much fun. I was so happy that I did it. Arguably, it did help that I had the first paranormal romance readathon to kind of warm up, even though I didn't stick to that one as well. Doesn't matter. I did great. Let's talk about it. So I read Barista and the Bear. This is the first in the Oak Fast Fades Mate series by Rebel Carter. Also, if you hear the rain and stuff, whatever, it's atmospheric. Just deal with it. It's storming here. This was the group book, and I read it for shifter, and I read it for author of color. I gave it 4 stars. It was cute. It was a cute Fade Mates novella. She did push him away, which I'm never a fan of. I don't like when they fight the mate connection. Like, the entire freaking point of you being mates is that we get that instant, deep, obsessive, I'd do anything for you type thing. But she fought it, so that always sucks. But it was still cute. Yeah, it was cute. I don't know what else to tell you. Then for the vampire and the sequel, I read Gypsy Moon, which is All the Pretty Monsters, number 4 by Kristy Cunning. Then I read Gypsy Rising and Gypsy Truths, so I read all 3 of these back to back to back, and I finished the series. I thought there were 7 books. There's not. There's 6. I gave every book in the series 5 stars, except the last book. I gave it 4 stars. The grand finale got honestly weird and creepy, and I wasn't a huge fan. Still 4 stars, though, but didn't enjoy that one as much. So basically, this is a reverse harem between a gypsy who doesn't know a lot of the things that are very well known in the paranormal world because she was kind of isolated by her mother in the hopes of protecting her. And she has a reverse harem with a vampire, a shifter, a sexual deviant paranormal, and a Van Helsing, which is a monster slayer. And it's really good. A lot more slow burn, a lot more angst and build up than I usually enjoy. And I kid you not, this series, I did not know who to believe or what was happening all the way until the very end, because you're getting all these different points of view and you don't know if she's stronger than they think she is, or if they're stronger than she thinks they are, or if the bad guy is stronger. You don't know if she's hiding secrets, or if she doesn't know what's going on, or if they're hiding secrets, or they don't know. You don't know if the point of view that you're seeing is accurate, or if they are being led astray by somebody. You just don't know. You don't have any idea, honestly. I think the author knew. I think the author knew the characters and the storyline and the plot. I think she knew exactly where she was taking us, but the rest of us were just along for the ride. You could not figure it out. You could not guess what was going to happen because you never knew who to believe about what, and you didn't even have all the information to start with. So, fascinating series. Again, ending was a bit weird and creepy. Not even the ending of the book. It was like the 70% mark, and there was quite a bit that I was just like, what is happening? This is so weird. Great series. Great series. I also read Spell of Desire by Tomu, Ohmi. I read this for a different style, and a host favorite is manga. I've never read manga, and I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what I was doing. I actually didn't even know like where on the page to read, what order the sentences went in. So Shay told me you start at the right-hand corner and you go right to left and down. I think that's right. I don't remember. And so I've spent the beginning, the whole first part confused because I didn't know what order anything was going in. And then also it was kind of like each chapter, it was its own little volume, and it's a short volume anyways, like it's very short. And so like each little chapter there was a kind of a recap what was already happening, so there just wasn't a lot of new information or information in general in the entire book, but I did like it. I just didn't know what to expect or what was going on or why we were doing things the way we were doing it. I did give it 4 stars. I'm not super confident in that rating, honestly, because I have nothing to compare it to. And I didn't know what I was doing. But I did like it. I just didn't love it. Then I have BookTube Darling and LGBTQ+, and I read The House on the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I'd read the first 20% of this book before this readathon, and I finished it, and it was just as sweet and charming and amazing as everybody says. It's not, I would not call it a romance though. I wouldn't. There is a romance thread in it, but there's honestly very little romance. There's no sexy times at all, which is totally fine, but no sexy times. It's more focused on this middle-aged man who has spent his whole life, his whole adult life, his career, working for this, Ministry of Magic type deal where they are monitoring paranormal children and the orphanages that they're in. And he follows the rules and doesn't get attached, even though he is genuinely trying to help everyone. Like, he thinks that the kids should be well treated no matter what, but he does exactly what his job is. And that's not great. And he's sent to this house with the most dangerous children, and it's classified. He falls in love with the caretaker of the children. And it's very sweet, beautiful writing, very poignant. I mean, there are so many lines that you'll want to highlight or keep track of that are so meaningful and so well done. It's just very different from what I normally read. So it did take me a while, but I loved it, and I gave it 5 stars. And my book that I read that didn't fill any of the prompts was The Sacrifice by Jessica Gadziala. This was a demon motorcycle club and a witch's coven, and the witch's coven, one in every generation, is sent to the demons as the sacrifice. The witches have no idea what happens to the sacrifice, and it's part of their treaty, and they've been sending the not so great witches, right? The expendable witches. And she's it. She never could keep her mouth shut. She could never just do what she was supposed to do. She was always a little too wild, a little too outspoken, and she's the sacrifice. And she falls in love with the demon, and the demon falls in love with her, and it's cool because the witches, like, they don't care about men. They use them for reproduction, and that's kind of it. And they only have daughters, and they're vegans, and they are good, and the demons just aren't. And they're honestly trying to break the sacrifice so that the sacrifice will be willing to do what they're asking them to do. And she's not treated horribly. I mean, you can see why it wouldn't be so fun, but like, there's no abuse. She's not being abused or anything like that. And it was just really cool to see these complete opposites come together. And the demon ended up with like my favorite paranormal feature, and I loved it so much. I don't really necessarily want to just give it away, but it was so good. If you want a witch romance, a motorcycle romance, a demon romance, anything that's just a little bit different for a paranormal, it was fantastic. I also gave it 5 stars. That's it. That's all the books I read. That's all the books that were on my TBR, I should say, and all the paranormal ones that I read during the week. And I am so proud of myself. Did you have a great reading week? Did you stick to your TBR? First time ever over here, so I am going to toot my horn because honestly, I did amazing. So you're welcome. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.